Good morning, students. Today we'll see the sequence detector, and in the sequence detector, first we'll see what is the sequence detector first. Yeah, so the sequence detector is a sequential state machine, and where the input, we have the input as a string of the bits, and we are checking our input with reference to the clock, and when the desired sequence is getting detected, our output is reflected as a 1. Now there are two types of the state machines. One is the Mealy machine and one is the Murray machine. The Mealy machine output depends on the input variables and the current state, whereas the Murray machine output depends only on the current state. Now in the Mealy machine, if we have the n number of bits to be detected, we require n states, whereas in this Murray machine we require one additional state. So that is the n plus 1 state for the Murray machine. Now in this Mealy and Murray, again we have two different cases can be observed. One is the overlapping and the non-overlapping. Say for example, I want to detect the sequence 1101. So if we consider the input x as a string of these bits, and if we want to check the output for the non-overlapping, let's start with the 1101. So once we are getting the targeted sequence, the output is getting 1. But whatever the bits we have selected, and this last bit of this 1 would not get considered for the consideration of the next bit. Whereas in the overlapping, again the same string of the bits 1101, but once we are getting 1 here, the output would be 1, but this 1 would also be considered for the detection of the next bit. So here you can see that our bits are getting overlapped. Now in this, we first will see the Mealy FSM, and here we are considering the sequence as a 101, and we are considering again the overlapping case. Now here the 3 bits, that means the required states are the 3, S0, S1 and the S2. When we are at the S0, we have the two possibilities of the input. When the input equal to 0, the output would be 0. It will remain in the reset state. When the input equal to 1, it will move to the next state, and again output would be 0. The output would be 1 when we'll detect the entire sequence 101. So let's move ahead. When we are at the S1 state, when the input equal to 1, again the output equal to 0. But when the input equal to 0, it will move to the next state as we are getting the desired bit, but output is yet we have the 0. When we are at the S2 state, we have the, when the input equal to 1, we are getting the desired bit, and then it completes the desired sequence 101. So output would be 1, and it will move to the S1 state. When we are at the S2 state and the input equal to 0, it will go to the reset condition. Now in this state diagram, we have denoted our state as S0, S1 and the S2, but our Xilinx would not understand that. We need to represent our each state with the binary representation and call as a state vector. So here in this state diagram, we have denoted our state, each state with the binary representation. Start with the S0 represented with the 00. As we have the 3 bits, we have used the 2 bit to represent each state. For the S1 the 01, and for the S2 that is the 10. Now today we will see how we can write the Verilog code for this Mealy 101 sequence. So now let's switch over to the Xilinx. So here in this, first we are selecting the project. Let's say Mealy FSM. Select the project, select the Verilog module, Mealy FSM. Here you provide your inputs. I am selecting input in clock and the reset, and output as the out. So this is my module ready. Here I'll assign my output in the reg where I want to store my data. Now first here let me open that side by side, so it would be easy to map the code with this. Okay. So first what we are considering, again first we have to declare the parameter to for the constant states. So we are assigning the unique binary representation to each state. So I have taken the three state S0, S1 and the S2, where here I am assigning the value 0, 0, 0, 1 and the 1, 0. Okay. Now, so here we have converted our state into the state vector. Then here we are dealing with the current state and the present state. So for representation of that current and present, again I am defining into the reg where they are storing the values. So let's consider the current state as a CST and the next state is my NST. Okay. Now here what we'll do, first we'll prepare our always block, and in that always block at every pauses of the clock we'll check. So always as a sensitivity list I am defining the clock, but again on top of the clock we have to take care about the reset. So what if I have the reset equal to 1? So first we need to consider that. So if reset equal to 1, what we have output equal to 0. And what about the current and the next state? They would stay in the reset state, that is our S0 state that we have already defined in the parameter. Okay. Now in this we are using the multiple statements, so we have to write in the beginner. So this is what if my reset equal to 1. Now the second else, when the reset equal to 0, the states will start to transit from one state to another, and here we have to define. Then if the reset equal to 0, then the current state would be the next state. It will move to the next state. Now in this, here you can see that on the right hand side we have the different states, and for each state we have the two possibilities, whether the input is 0 or 1. So we are considering the switch case, and in that I am using the current state. What is the current when we have the current state? Let's start with the each state. So first S0. Now in the S0 we'll define what if my input equal to 1. Here in the S0, when the input equal to 1, it will move to the next state, that is my S1. So if input equal to 1, then we have the output equal to 0, and here we have next state equal to the S1. Okay, now else what we have, else when the input equal to 0, it will stay in the same state. So here output equal to 1 dash b 0, and the next state would be the same, that is the current state, or you can define the S0. Okay. Now here in this we have used one more thing is left. We have used a multiple statement, so we have to write in the begin end. So we are mentioning the begin end. Same way here in this else condition, begin and the end. Okay. So this is how we can define each state. So I am just making a change in this for the different states. So let's say this is my S1 and this is my S2 state. Okay. Now let's see on the right hand side, in the S1 when the input equal to 1, output is 0. So output is 0 and it would stay in the S1 state. The next state is the S1. When we are at the S1 and the input equal to 0, it will move to the next state S2. So here the next state would be the S2 and the again output would be 0. Okay. Now the next S2 state, when we are in the S2 state and input equal to 1, we are getting the targeted sequence and output would be 1. So here the output would be 1 and the next state would be the S1, and when we are at the S2 and the input equal to 0, it will go to the reset and output equal to 0. So this is how you can define the each state current and the next and the output in the Verilog. Now let's end my case. Here we are ending our begin. Okay. So we are done with this code. Let's save it and let's check the syntax. So we are switching over to simulation. Select your .v file. Select your behavioral check syntax. Successfully completed. Okay, now in order to check the simulation, we'll first make the test bench, and in the test bench we'll apply the stimulus. So select the Verilog test fixture. The name is the Mealy FSM underscore TB. So this is my okay. So this is a skeleton for the test bench where we can apply our stimulus for what input you want to apply in your desired output. Okay, so first let's okay, so first what I'll do, I'll reset my machine. So reset equal to 1, I am applying reset, and let's say that is for the 10 second. Then so when the reset equal to 1, output would be 0. Now I am applying reset equal to 0. So now it will start transit from one state to another. Here I am applying input 1 for the time period of 10. Second input I am applying 0 for the time period of 10. And the last you can apply any inputs for the checking purpose. I am just selecting here where I want the desired detected sequence. Okay, so here we in the initial begin we have assigned our stimulus, but again we saw that we are checking at the edge of clock, so we have to generate the clock. So we are generating clock here. So at the every 5 nanosecond the clock will convert it to the negate, and we are getting on off clock always. Now let's check the syntax for the TB. Again select that tb.v file, check the behavioral check syntax. Again let's observe the monitor, display monitor where we are getting. Okay, now in this you just fit to view. Okay, so here for the simplicity you can drag this clock first because we are checking our output at the clock edge. Then we'll switch over our, okay, so here, okay, so initially you can see that output, this red line indicates there is no any output. The when we have to check when the reset equal to 0. Okay, so this is my reset equal to, from this reset equal to 0. But again, and in the always block, we'll check our output at the pauses of my clock. So this is the pauses of my clock. Now in this pauses, the input equal to 0. So there is no any output. The next clock, input equal to 1. Okay, now the next clock, when the input equal to 0, yes, and the next when the input equal to 1. So once we are getting that targeted sequence, our output is switching over from 0 to 1. Now here, this is the same I have added in my presentation. Yeah, so here you can say that when here 0, 1, sorry, 1, 0 and 1. Sorry, first okay, at the first pauses our input equal to 0. And here we are getting input equal to 1, input equal to 0 and input equal to 1. So when we are getting our targeted sequence, the output is immediately reflected. So here the output is at the same clock edge when we are getting the targeted sequence. So this is all about the milli-FSM. Now the same way, let's do the Moore. So for the Moore, what I am doing, I am just creating the new source where I am designing the Moore FSM. Okay, so here already we have designed the milli. So the same milli I am just taking for the Moore, and according to the state we'll change it. Okay, so here what I am first changing, I am changing the module name. The module name is my Moore FSM. The input and all would remain same, but what is the main difference as we saw in this? Okay, let me, okay. So before moving to the Verilog code, let me explain this Moore FSM. In the Moore we have the 3 bits, but in the Moore we need one additional state. So we need the 4 state. So S0, S1, S2 and the S3. Now when we have, and again the output depends on the state only. So when we have we are at the S0 state and the input equal to 0, the output would be 0. Then when the input equal to 1, it will move to the next state S1. When we are at the S1, when the input equal to 0, it will move to the next state. And when in this we have the S2 state and the input equal to 1, it will go to the S3. This here again it would be the 1, 0 and 1 sequence. So when we are at the we are getting this sequence, desired sequence, our output is getting 1. Now let's convert the same into the Verilog module. So as we have already copied from that, so what we'll do, we'll okay, so what we need to change in this parameter, we require one additional parameter. So I am just taking that additional parameter in order to design the Moore machine. So this is my S3 and here I can assign the 1, 1. The same state vector we have defined. Now in this we have the basic difference in the Moore is that the output depends only on the state. Okay, so what we can do in the each state here, in each state when we are at the S0, what is that output? I am just commenting this output. So when we are at the in the S0, the output would be 0, where irrespective to my input is 0 or 1. Okay, so here what we are considering, we are writing here in the S0 state my output would be 1. Again, no need to mention inside, because in the Moore machine our output depends on the state only. Okay, the same way here I am commenting this. and here in the state S1, what is my output? The output is again 0. You can see in the state diagram on the right hand side, and the same I am mentioning here. Then okay, here I need to add this begin. Again I need to add this begin. In the S2 state, again my output is 0, 1 dash V0. Okay, no need to mention the output inside. But here we need to add one additional state, that is my S3. So this is my S3, and in the S3, okay, let's check our this code as per the state diagram we have mentioned. Okay, now in the S0, whether input is 0 or 1, our output would be 0. Our output depends on the state only. So here when the input equal to 1, when we are providing input equal to 1, input equal to 1, it will move to the next state S1. So next state is equal to S1. As the next state, the state would remain in the same, that is the S0. Now the next is the S1. When we are in the S1 and the input equal to 1, it would remain in the S1. Output would be 0. Here input equal to 1, our next state would be the same S1 state. If the input equal to 0, it will move to the S2, so it will move to the S2 state. Now in the S2, when output would be 0, so output would be 0. When the input would be 0, it will move to the input would be 1, it will move to the S3 state. So here we have to change the S3 state, and when the input equal to 0, it will move to the reset, that is the S0 state. Now in the S3, when we have okay, in the S3 what we are getting the targeted sequence, output would be 1. Now when the input equal to 1, it will move to the S1 state, or if the input equal to 0, it will move to the S2 state. So here we have to change with the S2. Okay, so we have changed our this as per the state diagram. Now let's check our syntax. Okay, so here what I am getting, I will okay, so here what we are getting first, let me okay, so here let us check it. Okay, now we are getting successfully done, as we only made a mistake in that semicolon. Okay, now let's design the test bench. So Verilog test fixture, here I am assigning the name as a Murray FSM TB. Here we have to select the Murray. Okay, now here again there is a skeleton for this. Again we have to apply the stimulus as we want to check our targeted sequence. So in this first let me reset my system. So here the reset equal to 1. When the reset equal to 1, we are applying the reset for this, for example 10 second, then I am doing the reset equal to 0. Let's apply input equal to 0, and so for example you can assign any time scale as you want to check it. Then let's say the input equal to input equal to 1. Let's apply for the purchase 20, then the 0, then input 1, 20. Okay, so here we have applied the input. Now let's generate the clock. Always clock, you can set the duty cycle of the clock by changing this time period. Okay, so now I am selecting this TB. I am checking the output. Okay, so it is successfully done. Now we'll simulate. Okay, so again let's check it. Yeah. So here again what we have, first we'll shift our clock at the first for our easy. Okay, now here we'll check when they reset equal to 0. So here reset equal to 0, but we'll check at the pauses of the clock. So this is the pauses of clock, the input equal to 0, the next pauses of the clock, input equal to 0. Here my clock 1. Okay, so we are getting the first bit of my sequence, the next again the desired bit 1 0, and the next is my 1. But here you have seen that when we are getting the targeted sequence at the same clock age, the output is not getting affected. The output is affected at the next clock pulse. So here my output is reflected from 0 to 1. Okay, so the same I have kept for the simplification in the presentation. So in the Moore machine, we are getting 1, 0 and 1, but output is reflected to the next clock age. So here again, if we compare with the Mealy and Moore, the Moore is getting a 1 clock pulse delay. Okay, so this is how we can write the Verilog code for any sequence for the overlapping, non-overlapping conditions. Thank you.